of the morning, y'all. There's a new bill in the state of Arizona, and if this sucker gets passed and launched into law, it will change the landscape of the entire immigration system and border situation forever as we know it. Well, that sounds like a pretty big deal, buddy. I promise you it is. I'm going to tell you about it in just a second here. First off, Backyard Butchers. I only partner with companies who know which bathroom to use. They deliver meat right here to you in the USA, from the USA to your door. It's non-injected. It is grass-fed. Do y'all know most of the meat in your grocery stores doesn't even come from the USA? Just because it has that USA stamp doesn't mean it's grown in the USA. So instead of sitting in the grocery store like I've done a million times wondering if it's actually USA meat, go to backyardbutchers.com/buddy. You're going to get 20% off your order. Backyard Butchers, they're our kind of people, or I wouldn't be telling you about them. Link is below. All right, y'all, you ready to get into this? The bill we're talking about today is called HB 2843. It would let Arizona ranchers shoot and kill border crossers on their own property with complete immunity. Now, I want to make this clear. The left calls this kind of situation murder. That couldn't be further from the truth, and I want y'all to understand this. This would be self-defense. And it should be law in all 50 states. Hell, down here in Mississippi, in my home state, we already have this with trespassers, okay? I can and will legally shoot somebody if they're posing a threat on my property. The Mississippi Castle Doctrine, it reads, any degree of force, including deadly, is permitted as long as the person is attempting to defend their personal space. Ain't that beautiful? That's why I moved to a free state. It sounds like Arizona wants to become a free state as well. Now, this is why it is insanely important, because it is a life-saving bill. There is an Arizona rancher right now that y'all might have heard of named George Allen Kelly, who's facing murder charges right now because he shot an illegal on his ranch. He said he didn't do it, but look, I say, even if he did, this is literally self-defense of your own property. Some ranch owners down in Arizona, by the way, are over 45 minutes away from the nearest law enforcement help. Y'all tell me, if a group of cartel thugs are walking on your ranch, looking to steal money, possessions, guns, whatever, would you not do whatever you had to do to defend your loved ones? The rancher in Arizona, by the way, George Kelly, he is a 75-year-old man, y'all. He'd be no match whatsoever for a bunch of illegals in their prime. You know, the Democrats want a man like George Kelly to absolutely suffer. They want to make an example of him because they hate safety. They hate a man standing up and being strong and defending our family. And bottom line, they hate the Second Amendment. So if this bill gets passed, there's no telling how many American lives will actually be saved. If I crossed illegally into a foreign country, if y'all crossed illegally into a foreign country, we'd be shot sure as hell. The way I see it, these charges against George Kelly needs to be completely dropped, or you can charge Biden as a co-conspirator. How about that? We just got to protect this man at all costs. It turns out that George did not take a plea deal, by the way. And good for him, he did nothing wrong. His defense was actually saying that these were traffickers, and they're trying to use this case to make an example of them so that no one will dare defend their property along the southern border. They get that, and they get everybody scared to defend themselves. They can just walk in and do as they please, which is exactly what they're doing. Kelly said that earlier in the day, he fired warning shots above the heads of the smugglers. He said they were carrying AK-47 rifles, and they had backpacks, and they were on his property. Now put yourself in George's position and ask yourself, as a man out there looking out into your yard, and you got your wife and you got your kids inside your house, and you're looking through the window and they are coming, boy, would you not fear for your life and do exactly what George did? You dadgum right you would. 45 minutes from the nearest city, y'all. Liberals have absolutely no culture. They just go from city to city to city, and they call the rest of us flyover states, right? That's because they've never lived in those real places and learned the real culture. Matter of fact, whenever I meet a British person coming to America, I say, hey, great to have you here. You know, where have you been in America so far? And they say, I've been to New York City, I've been to Vegas, and I'm thinking, I often say to them, that's great. When do you plan on visiting America? This is why the left can't fathom being your own 911. If we see this new bill get passed, a man like George will be free. I promise you, you never saw Alec Baldwin in an orange jumpsuit. But they got no problem making an example of a sweet old man who did no wrong. Let's get this bill passed. It will change America forever. God bless y'all.